Hello people, I'm Mark Ryan, licensed acupuncturist and herbalist from Hashimoto'sHealing.com. And in this video, I want to bring together some of the previous material and show you how to effectively use exercise to boost energy. All right, so firstly, let's talk a little bit about exercise in general. One thing I found is there seems to be kind of this bell curve of exercise benefit. It looks something like this. All right, you can see here if you do too little, it's not good. You do too much, it's not right. There's really a sweet spot. And the way to find it is by simply paying attention to how you feel afterwards. If you do too little, you don't get much benefit. It doesn't result in any increase in energy or weight loss or feeling better. If you do too much, there are diminished returns, and these just get worse and worse as you keep overdoing it. So the trick really is to find this sweet spot that's at the top of the curve. And you know you found it because you feel really good after exercising. It gives you energy, and it doesn't take you 2 or 3 days to recover. And in order to do this, you may need to start really small. I've given you a couple links for some excellent free apps. The first is called a 7-minute scientific workout app. I found that this is a really good place to start. It's 12 different exercises done 30 seconds each with a little rest in between. And I recommend you start with that and simply do 7 minutes per day for at least a week or two. And make sure you push yourself enough to get out of breath a little, to sweat a little, and also really pay attention to how you feel afterwards. Because once you build up some strength and some endurance, then you can double up on it, or you can switch over to another app there that I shared with you. The second app is called Sworkit, S-W-O-R-K-I-T, and it allows you to create a whole host of different exercise routines in whatever amount of time you want. So it kind of expands that 7-minute workout, and then you can build that to 10 minutes, and then 15, 20, however you want. But in general, you always want to stop at the top, right? Don't push yourself to where you need to recover. It's always better to be wanting a little bit more. Another thing I wanted to cover with you was another excellent tool for building energy is to use Qigong. I found a really effective combination is Qigong with these high-intensity exercises. It seems to give me a lot more energy than just doing a vigorous workout alone. In the materials, I've given you a Golden 8 exercise, which is excellent Qigong exercise. And these are just simple, relaxing, and they really feel amazing when they're practiced regularly. And one way to think about these exercises is that they really help to put energy reserves back into your body's energy savings account. It's remarkably effective. And Qigong and breathing and meditation have been shown to boost mitochondria. Another reason. And I'm going to be adding some more Qigong exercises as we go in there. I've got a whole bunch of them for you, and I'm going to be rolling out more of them. So here's what I do normally. So here's what I do normally. I like combining the Qigong and the more vigorous exercises together. For example, one day I'll do more Qigong, and I'll often do a workout from Sworkit and do 5 or 10 minutes, say, stretch or a short cardio warm-up. Then I'll do the Golden 8. And on other days, I might want more of a challenge. So I may do a Qigong warm-up that you find in the Golden 8 series, and then I'll do a 15 or 20-minute core workout or a cardio workout or work on just one part of the body. And doing this way gives you plenty of variety so you don't get bored, and it keeps you in that sweet spot of the maximum benefit. Okay, so what's the best time of day to exercise? Well, it really depends on what you're trying to accomplish. Take a look here at this circadian clock. Right, you can see here there's a couple key times I think are very effective for exercise. One is the first thing in the morning from like 7 to 10. That area is a good time. This is when melatonin stops. It's your lowest point of melatonin, which means your highest point of cortisol. So that can be an excellent time. Especially and because cortisol is released first thing in the morning. And this is a good time because you can take advantage of that natural spike in energy. However, if you exercise on an empty stomach first thing in the morning, this can intensify cortisol's effects and can result in muscle loss and maybe some metabolic resistance to losing weight. So if you want to work out, the good idea is to have some protein beforehand and make sure you have and eat right afterwards. In addition, if you have low cortisol in the morning, you may find this particularly difficult. So instead, this might be a good time to meditate and do Qigong alone instead. Another excellent time to work out is about 5 o'clock p.m. You see, this is a peak time for your cardiovascular system and for muscle. This is when your muscles are strongest. So this would be an excellent time to try and do a more vigorous routine and do something, to build muscle, like some weightlifting. Be sure again you have some protein prior to working out and eat immediately afterwards for maximum muscle building and energy generation. Muscle strength and mitochondrial health are very closely related. All right, cool. So that's some basics. You got some time frames. Let's just quickly review. Firstly, when you're starting out, but also just in general when you're thinking about exercise, we want to use exercise to build energy, and to do that we have to start with just the right amount. So we have to find our sweet spot. And for a lot of people with Hashimoto's, in my experience, that sweet spot is a lot less than they realize. So start with a 7-minute workout that I recommend. There's an app there for you to download. It's free. Go from there. Another thing to do also, I think it's really important to have variety and mix up a combination of Qigong, these simple breathing and movement exercises, some meditation. I like standing meditation also, and these vigorous high-intensity training exercises. Play around with that, experiment, find, again, like I mentioned, what I like to do is kind of alternate them. Some days I'll feature more Qigong, other days I'll feature more of the HIIT training. I find it very effective, and again, it's fun. It doesn't keep you, you do the same thing all the time, it gets boring. This way you have lots of variety. You can do lots of different things. Second thing we looked at is the time frame. So a couple different times. If you have low cortisol, you may want to think about working out first thing in the morning, particularly if you work out, within 15 minutes of waking. This can help reset your cortisol clock. It's a good idea to have something in your stomach, so you could do like a protein drink. I generally recommend vegetable-based proteins, so a hemp protein or a pea protein seem to be the best tolerated in my experience. Do those, put in some good fat. Have that prior, and then make sure you have a good protein and good fat breakfast following. So you can do that in the morning. If you have high cortisol, you can take advantage of that and get out and do a workout. If your cortisol is really low and you feel like you've been hit by a train when you wake up in the morning and you have absolutely no energy and you feel terrible, then consider using that morning time instead in a more gentle way. So do meditation and do Qigong exercise if you're really depleted. I think that's a better way to go. Then we also looked at, remember, the afternoon around 5 o'clock is an excellent time to take advantage of your body's natural energy clock when you have the greatest cardiovascular efficiency and muscle strength. That will, because the mitochondria and muscle are so intertwined, that's another way to physically boost mitochondria. So give that a try, experiment with it. Again, we want to keep track of this in our journal. See how we're doing, see what works for you. Try the morning time, try the afternoon time. You could also do short workouts at each time. If you do this, if you find your sweet spot is 10 or 15 minutes, it's not a long time to do a workout. So you can do a 15-minute workout in the morning and a 15-minute workout at 5. Again, those workouts I gave you, the great thing about them is, both those workout apps, the great thing about them is you don't need a gym, you don't need equipment. It's all just your own body weight. All right, lots of great stuff here. Try it, try it, try it. I'm Mark Ryan, licensed acupuncturist and herbalist from Hashimoto'sHealing.com. Be good, be kind, and remember to have compassion for everyone, including yourself.